our panel here today is the home buyer strategies, new era, new skills, and we have Anna Torres from Long and Foster, Darian Payne, Realtor with Creative Realty, and Brandon Blanco, Realtor Alpha Realty, here with us. And basically, we're just going to tackle some questions in regards to the strategies they had getting in, because they're all 5 years or less in the real estate industry. And of course, like, would you agree, like, that is probably the hardest time frame, I would say, like the first 2 years, is getting started, getting going, having the consistent production. And everybody here has averaged 10 million in their first 5 years, so, or annually averaged 10 million in production. So we just want to pick their brain. Did you want to give a little bit of a introduction of yourselves, or
Yeah, we can go down the line.
yeah,
Ladies first.
Oh,
nice.
Hey everybody, I'm Anna Torres with Long and Foster. Some of you may know I go by Anya sometimes as my nickname. I've been in this area for over 4 years. My husband is in the Marine Corps, so I'm a military spouse. I have 3 girls, and I get very, very busy with all their school activities. But real estate has been my focus and my full-time career since we moved here.
All right, well, my name is Brandon Blanco. I am the principal broker of the Alpha Realty Group. I am an infantryman in the National Guard. I have 2 kids and a wife, and I've been doing real estate since 2018.
I'm Darian Payne with Creative Realty. I've been doing real estate for 5 years now. I'm originally from Northern Neck area in Virginia, Westmoreland County. Been here in Fredericksburg area for about 10 years now. Married with 2 kids. One just graduated college, one in middle school, and worked for the federal government for 15 years. And I left there in 2022, and everybody thought I was crazy for pursuing real estate full time. And it worked out wonderful for me.
Nice, awesome, thank you. So Darian, what strategies or tactics did you find most effective in attracting your first clients?
Actually, I was blessed. As soon as I got in the real estate business, one of my best friends was ready to buy. So it made it easier for me.
Have good friends.
So literally a month after I got my license, I sold my first house. Then my aunt, a month later. And I started posting on social media. So social media is my big thing. That's where I attract a lot of my clients at. It's free advertisement, so I use it to my advantage all the time. So I'm constantly posting on both Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and that's where I get a lot of my leads from. So I have a big group through social media, so that's what helps me a lot.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that too. I had social media on my list as well. When I moved to this area, I didn't know anybody. We were new. We just came from Jacksonville, North Carolina. So I just wanted to be in front of my sphere, basically through the neighborhood that I was in. So I just reached out to everybody I knew and be like, hey, can I add you to my database? Didn't have anything going on. So that really helped me over time establish those relationships, and that led to several referrals down the line as well. One of my neighbors became my best referral partner, referred me to her aunt, her sisters that ended up buying and selling. So it took a little bit of time, but it did have a good return on investment. But one of the very first clients that I had in my first year came through rental leads. Like I said, I didn't have much going on, so I just started doing rental leads. Like, I was crazy. I think I closed like 36 rentals in my first year. But so 12 of my actual sales in the first year were the leads 6 of those were the leads I got from rentals, and they turned into buyers. So, and then now those rental clients became my friends, and they're like my best referral partners too, because we're just very close.
Yeah, so I got my first clients actually through hobbies. So I'm really big into cars and motorcycles, just generally connecting with people. You can have your own thing, but just connecting people on a friend basis. I have found that you can get a lot more clients if you sell yourself as a person first and be their friend first, because people are generally more inclined to buy from a friend than they are random, right? So that's where referrals come in. So my first clients, yeah, they were through cars. Like I said earlier, I'm in the National Guard, so a lot of Army veterans and just veterans in general. That's where I got my first clients. And then I was also a personal trainer at the time. So I really like going to the gym. That's one of my things. So connecting with people in the gym, I mean, it's a common recurring theme, connecting with people with similar passions. I mean, they're going to be more inclined to go with you as a realtor, because they're going to be able to build a personal relationship with you and see you as more of a friend, and then also a realtor that can help them out too.
Awesome. So, how important is networking been in growing your real estate business? Wow, I didn't know we were gonna have like the sidelines from the audience. Guys, that took me off guard. Woo, that was good. That was good timing too.
An amazing question from Selena.
I should have signs next time. Applaud.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but how important? So, how important has networking been in growing your business? Because you're pretty involved in, I would say, in a few things.
Yep. So I do a lot of networking ever since I started in real estate in 2020. I mean, it was kind of hard, obviously, with COVID and everything, but I'm a people person, and this business is all about relationships. So you have to put yourself out there. Like, I was always told, you can't be a secret agent. Like, it's just not gonna happen for you. So I joined many different organizations. I joined local 212 networking groups just to try things out. YPN, FAR had different events. So I wanted to just be a part of something that I could make a difference in. And mainly now, what I focus on is the Women's Council of Realtors here in Fredericksburg. And we have a couple of people here in the group. And it's not just for women, men are welcome too. So I'm the president of Women's Council this year and next year as well. Just help me establish those connections locally and get to know other realtors, because you never know who you're gonna work with on the other side. So getting your name out there, getting your face out there helps you establish your credibility. And then when I call those people, and also doing rentals, I talk to a lot of agents, they recognize my name, at some point. So, and they picked up the phone. So what I can say is just maybe pick one or two things you feel passionate about and join a local organization. Do it even if you're not a people person, but just so you get yourself out there. Also, I met a lot of different vendors through those networking groups, and they became also my referral partners and my team. And then I put together a preferred vendor list that I mail out to all of my clients every year, which my clients love because they trust me. So they always reach out to me if they need, an HVAC person, or they need a painter or a handyman. So I have a list of all those people already ready to go. And a lot of them put it on their fridge and it has my name on it. So I'm always in front
Top of mind. Nice. So what role has marketing played in your success, and which platforms or methods have been most effective to you, Brandon?
So far, just as a boots on the ground realtor, social media was key in growing my business. Similar to Darian, posting on Instagram, Facebook, selling yourself, showcasing what you're all about, connecting with the people around you, keeping up with friends and past clients. That's a great way to keep up with them. But it's also a good way to actually reach out to people who might not be in your social network. I've got a couple clients, a good amount of clients from out of state, referrals, just because they saw a reel that I posted on Instagram. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be you dancing around to a song or anything like that. It's really more so just finding what you're comfortable with and what is what stays in line with who you are as a person, because people can see right through it, right? They can see when you're faking it. And the last thing that you want to do is be fake, because then people aren't going to trust you as much. So yeah, social media was key up until this point. And now with us opening up our firm last year, we're gearing towards, selling out email, drip campaigns, geo farming, the whole 9 yards. But I will say that, if it's solely you, I think the most inexpensive way to grow your reach is really just do social media. It's free.
So geofarming, can you like just elaborate simply on what that is?
Yeah. So geofarming, finding areas, within like a certain demographic, like for instance, high turnover neighborhoods. If you want to market to those, if you're looking for buyers, there's actually search engines to where you can search for, houses. Sellers. If you're searching for sellers, you can find certain areas that people have been in a house for a certain amount of time, right? Like 3 to 5 years. Maybe they're trying to gear up to sell soon. I should probably start sending out postcards to those houses that are more inclined to sell. Finding those high turnover neighborhoods, you can send postcards to them as well, and just kind of sending a monthly postcard to them just to kind of stay in the back of their mind. Because yes, there are a lot of realtors, but in the off chance that one of those houses in that neighborhood sells, you've already made your return on profit and even more.
Awesome, thank you.
What tools are you using for the geofarming aspect?
So the geofarming, there was Remind Pro. I looked into Remind. It has a good amount of information that you can actually go select a geographic area, and then from there we're actually looking at utilizing. So we have the #1 CRM software on the market right now. It was KV Core. They recently rebranded. I think it's Bold Trail, but they actually have an in-house built-in app that you can use to actually geofarm, which takes a lot of the work out of doing it. It's something that my firm offers free to our agents because we believe in offering the best tools. So that's what we use.
That's awesome. I heard so if you don't have access to any of those kinds of tools, you actually do through Realtors Property Resource. It's a free tool through NAR that all realtors have access to. It's great because it has geofarming capabilities and that you can create 2,000 labels out of RPR at a time. So if you don't have a tool like that, definitely look into the Realtors Property Resource.
So you basically said social media, and you're gonna, Darian, you want to kind of bounce off of that?
Yeah, I feel like we have a lot in common. From the
Oh,
social
y'all
media
friends
aspect,
now.
from the motorcycles, I'm real big in the motorcycle community as well, and
Yeah, champion.
I consider I use myself as a walking billboard. That's how I would market. If I'm out at the grocery store, I'm at the gym, Marquita will see me. I have my shirt on with my information on it. So I try to use that as my marketing tool. Even on my cars, I have my magnets that I use as my marketing tool as well. But mostly social media.
Yeah, my husband sent me a picture of your car.
Yeah,
I used
pass
to
it,
have.
He was like, "Go see Darian."
You gotta drive real nicely though when you got your stuff on your
I can't have
car.
one way job.
Yeah, because you're all smiling, and then the guy inside like.
I know. I used to have that too, and I'm like, maybe I should take that off in case like you get crazy on the road. I don't want people to know who I am.
Do you have anything to add to the marketing?
Yep. So like Brandon said, there's so many realtors out there. You have to distinguish yourselves and what makes you different. So I also did TikTok videos and all that stuff when I had more time, which was fun, and my kids helped me out, and I did get some leads through that, and also referrals as well through different networking groups online that I found. There's so many real estate groups that you can be a part of, but you have to be quick. You have to be on top of it. This is your business. You have to go and get it. So, but besides social media, and I'm a visual person, so I'm just going to show you what I do. But every time I have a listing, I send out just listed postcards. And then when I close, I send out just sold postcards as well. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you never know. It depends how, like what Brandon said about geobashing. If it's a popular neighborhood, I'll send those out. And then when people scan them, the code, you get that notification to your email, and then I just follow up with those people, and then I'll send them like my monthly newsletter, or I'll send them, you know, a magnet that I have, something that, you know, or I may send them a CMA of their house. So you just never know, and I did end up getting a seller out of that in a popular neighborhood. So you just never know what might work for you. Also, I have, and I don't know if everybody does, but you should have a Google My Business page, a business page on the internet. So I get a lot of different calls from people. Sometimes it's nothing, sometimes it's rentals. I got a seller off of that and they want to sell and buy. So you just never know. But other tools that I use, I subscribe to Keeping Current Matters. I love that subscription. You can customize it to yourself with your branding. You can post on social media really easily, like share blogs, videos, and it's super easy to just schedule it out. So I don't sit there and do
What
it
was it
every
called?
day. It's called Keeping Current Matters.
And do you have a price for that?
So there's different tiers depending on what you want to do. They have also these talking blogs, and they give you the script. I don't really like talking in front of like a camera, so I don't do that, which is more expensive. But I think the one I have is like $30 a month, and then they just customize all of your like posts for you if you want to. So I also print out buyer seller guides from them, and then I give those out to
Nice.
my clients that I
That's
meet for
pretty
the first
affordable.
time. So I put together like a packet, my information, the buyer seller guides, and whatever house we're gonna go see. So I'm always prepared. One other thing, and I do closing gifts. I don't know if you guys do closing gifts, but it's something like down the road when you do have your business set up. I offer my clients a customized guidebook if they're in Fredericksburg, or they're new to this area, which is really cool. I have an admin who created this for me, and I print it from Canva.
That's pretty cool.
So I subscribe to Canva, and it's like $15 a month. I love Canva. Like I said, I'm a marketing person. I graduated with international studies and like a business degree. I went for business management. I realized I wanted to do more stuff, but my focus was still business. So I love different marketing ideas. I try different things. So you just have to figure out what works for you. Sometimes I give that at closing. Sometimes I do Cutco knives with my customized logo, my name branding. All depends like what kind of tier level your clients are at, because those knives are like $150 each. So you just never know. Sometimes I give those for house anniversary gifts.
Nice. Awesome. A lot of tools here. So Darian, how did you establish your personal brand as a real estate agent, and how has it contributed to your success?
My personal brand, I label myself as the closer. So when I'm out a lot, I get a lot of people, hey, what's up, the closer? They might not even know my real name, Darian. They're just like, the closer. So that's how I personally brand myself as the closer. I try to put it out there that I close a lot of deals. I help a lot of families. I fight for my clients. That's basically it, because I figured that branding kind of coexists with marketing a little, so it's kind of like the same thing for me, like still branding myself on social media. So that's it.
Awesome. So, tell me what strategies, Brandon, do you use to stay informed about the changes and trends in the real estate market? For example, like any good podcasts, articles, blogs, classes.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I like to consult the different professionals that I've worked with. A lot of the lenders, they're on there. They have access to these interest rates, so I like to see what they're seeing. Get bounce ideas off of them. Also, I subscribe to like the newspaper online, so I'm always keeping up with finances and seeing how the trends are. Other agents across the country. So at first, it might seem like if you're starting out that everybody's your competitor, but the more you get into it, and the more you get settled in, it's always good to make friends with other agents, right? Because they may have information that you don't. So it's good to bounce ideas off of them. So through social media, I've built friends across the country, to get ideas about what their local market is like, how that reflects, for us, if there's any similarities, how they tackle that. And then also it's a good way to get referrals too. So, and then just lastly is really just open forums. So at the firm, I like to encourage an open forum whenever I host my monthly team meeting events. Same thing I do with agents across the country. My agents and I will all sit down and just bounce out ideas off of each other. It's not really me as a broker spitting stuff to you because I don't know everything. What you guys are seeing is not the same as what I might be seeing. So it's a good way for us to just sit down and just hash out what's going on in the market. But those are all the things that I use.
Darian?
What I use is we have a weekly meeting every week between our brokers in our firm and the team leads. I'm the team lead here in Fredericksburg area. And we usually go over trends, what's going on, what worked for them in a negotiation into a deal. We discuss matters like that. That kind of keeps us informed. And our broker, she stays very educated with what's going on in the real estate market and the different trends. So we have a weekly meeting every week regarding that type of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely will agree on that point, and that's kind of what I had on my list too. So when I started out in real estate, like my goal was to be the best it could be in what I do, and that's what I focused on. It wasn't like I said earlier, if this is your business, you can't be like half-assed into it. So I had to feel confident in what I was talking about. Coming from North Carolina, I did real estate investing, but then coming here, I was like, okay, I need to get my license. I want to know everything there is to know about real estate. So I joined like Zoom educational training classes that the company offered. And the first 4 months, they didn't have any business. So I decided to join a real estate team and my brokerage. And that was a big decision for me since I wanted to establish myself, but I didn't know anybody in the area. So it's like I need to learn as much as I could learn. So I joined with the Brooke Miller real estate team, and so she had also weekly training meetings, and she's like one of the best realtors in this area, so I knew I could learn a lot from her. So she taught me how to write contracts properly, and then shadowing agents. I did a lot of open houses. So in the first 4 months of my business, I took a Brian Buffini course, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, with the coaching program, but I did a 100 Days to Greatness program, and that they tell you that at the end of the program, you will have at least one closing or will be pending. So I did 2 closings in my 6 months of business, and it worked. So, to generate business, you have to plan ahead. Everything you do now is going to have an impact on your future sales in the next 60 to 90 days. So if you're not doing anything now, you're not going to get anything now. But that's just what helped me get started.
Nice. So like coaching was really beneficial for you. And
Yes.
then basically mentorship. I feel like everybody was saying like they look towards somebody, they look to somebody who had the experience or the knowledge to find the answers to the trends or stay up to date. And then also collaborative efforts like finding other agents to talk and network with to get information. I think pretty much summed up like the stay informed about the trends and building your real estate business.
Yeah, so there's 2, and one of them is pretty recurring, but the first one is my age. So I started real estate when I was 22. I was the top trainer at the gym when I was a personal trainer, and that's kind of where I learned sales. I have my degree in business management, but that's where I really learned that, sales, a big part of it is really selling yourself, becoming a friend to that person that you're trying to sell something to. But yeah, my age was really the biggest thing kind of holding me back because, and this goes for anybody, no matter what your age is, right? You're starting something new, kind of like how Darian said, people are going to doubt you. They're going to say, oh, that's hard. And a lot of times it's really just their insecurities that they're reflecting onto you. But starting something new that's big and scary and also being young, there's a lot of people that are like, well, how am I going to trust you with a $500,000 house, 600 million, whatever. And so part of it comes from, just you really can't give up. If you don't take yourself seriously and you don't hone in and perfect your craft, people are going to see right through it. So if you don't take yourself seriously, nobody else will. I mean, it starts with you. If you want to be a top agent in the area, then you need to see yourself as capable of being a top agent and doing that. First step is really just seeing yourself as that, being capable, and then after that, making a plan to then achieve it, because you can only talk so much. You have to deliver results. But the other second challenge that I continue to face now is really just burnout, right? So when you're a type A, I would think a lot of us are type A people. You're results driven. You're in sales. The
You like
next
control.
sale. Yeah, you like control, and the next sale.
Competitiveness.
It's a thrill. When you close one, you get another one. But it's also easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind. Like, okay, what's next? What's next? So it's very easy to burn yourself out, because you feel like if you're not working, you're not constantly hustling, your business is failing, you're not doing enough. But taking breaks and vacations is really needed. As like in 2022, I think that was my biggest year yet, and I didn't take any breaks, and ultimately I fizzled out. I took a 3-month hiatus and I just reset, and it was definitely needed. And that's what you should avoid, because your business is going to suffer. And what I see in real estate is that your efforts that you do now, you don't see the results until 3 months down the road. Everything is very long-term in real estate. So you want to avoid that burnout. And the key to that is, like Anna said, finding things that you like, working out, doing things that you love, staying grounded, surrounding yourself with a supportive community, but also taking those breaks and going on those vacations. You work hard, you deserve to also play hard too. So
Work hard,
work hard, play hard. So those are the two challenges.
I'll add to that. So I did coaching a little bit, and my goal at the end of our coaching, like set time frame, if I got a certain amount of closings, I had to reward myself. It was just mandatory. So you had to pick something. So I picked like get a new purse, and I felt so guilty because I spent all of my money on my kids and for the house, and I'm like, oh, do I really need it? It's like, yes, you need it.
Part of that, and I'll pass it off. But yeah, like one of my post-closing rituals is like, I'm a bourbon guy. I like bourbon. So when I ratify a contract, I'll just have a whiskey neat. And my wife is a really good bartender. Just for me though, she's a stay-home mom. But when I close, she'll make me the best whiskey sour, and that's my ritual. That's my like instant reward to myself.
Mine is open a bottle of wine, so
Yeah,
we'll definitely
yeah.
have to get a drink together.
And it has
Is there a common denominator here?
It hasn't failed yet. So it's like, finding those little rewards and then just, taking breaks, because we're all human.
But drink responsibly.
Yeah.
At home.
To piggyback off the vacation thing, just a little, I try to do the same thing, but I end up working while I'm on vacation.
I know. Because people just, do you see the
like on the
memes?
surfboard?
You're like,
Kardashian
oh,
in
just
the
booked a
ocean with their
vacation,
phone.
watch the sellers come out or
Yeah.
something like that. Like,
It's
you're
so
on the
bad.
flight and like everybody wants to
Yeah.
contact you all of a
It's so
sudden.
bad.
Every
Even if
time.
I'm out of the
Always.
country, and my phone is
Yeah.
not texting, they're texting me through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Ireland. I had to write a contract. Well, I was in Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
But when I first started in the business in the late 2019, I felt like it was easy because I was the only one in my area that was really agent. So I was getting clients constantly. Within the last 2023, 2024, you have a lot more agents now. So you gotta really strategize and set yourself apart from those type of agents, because people are looking at other people now like, okay, this is my friend, they just got their license, so what's the difference between them and him? He's more experienced, but they are fresh and brand new. Maybe I give them a chance. So you gotta kind of set yourself apart and try to do something different. My mind races all the time. I'm up at 6:30, mind just racing the different strategies and stuff. What I can do to get more clients, what I can do to help my existing clients, or what I can do with future clients. So that's the challenge for me right now, setting myself apart from other agents, because there's so many out here right now.
Yeah. Burnout is real.
Mhm.
Take care of
That is
yourselves. Okay,
real.
you can't take care of anybody else if you don't take care of yourself. That's what I've learned. So how do you set and track your business goals, both short term and long term, Brandon?
Yeah, so this one was a loaded question. I was sitting last night trying to think
They're all loaded.
Yeah. So, as an agent, I really just wanted to top my previous year. I would the way I would track it was going to MLS and looking at my production, seeing what I produced last year, and then making a plan to how I can do better next year. And like I said, everything is very long term. So if you're gonna plan to do something, just know that you won't reap those rewards until 3 months, 6 months down the road. So I was always looking ahead. Okay, how can I top the next year? How can I go do better? And as an agent, you know, taking the good that I did that year, keeping note of it, repeating the good that I did, and then learning from the bad. Because as a new agent, you're gonna mess up. I mean, nobody's perfect. You know, I had a good mentor, so I was able to kind of exponentially grow my business because I avoided a lot of the initial trials and stuff that you probably face as a new agent. But still, there's a lot of big mess ups that occurred, you know, especially when you're dealing with a lot of money. So learning from those mess ups and then, you know, not doing those again the next year, ultimately, that's the best thing I can say. But as a broker now, it's, you know, you have other agents under you at that point. You know, you got to look at short-term goals. As an agent, I was looking always for the short term, but as a broker, I mean, you're looking at monthly sales. You're analyzing time on market of listings, and this can all be applied as an agent too, but it's just on a bigger scale as a broker, right? So time on market of listings, because you're going to need to advise your agents. Long term, I don't want to share too much about our plan to expand. Just know that our firm is going to expand exponentially within the next year. But having a 6-month plan, you know, a 1-year plan and a 5-year plan, ultimately, I think that's a good place to start. And just having it somewhere you can visually see it every day, because it's easy to just get lost in the, you know, the day-to-day grind of real estate. But having something somewhere where you can actually refer to it, that way you can keep yourself on track. And you know, you don't get lost and kind of get lost in that day to day.
Yeah. So the short term and long term, like my way that I set up like the business plan is I will have like weekly things that I do, like, you know, religiously weekly basis, and then there is like a monthly basis, and then there's like the yearly goals. So like you can divide them into smaller things and kind of check them off. And it is really important to keep the visuals there, because you have to see it to drive you. You know, if you just write one up and it's saved on your computer and you don't see it every day, then what's really driving you? You're not really having a reminder, because what we see, it just influences us a lot more.
Yeah,
So
I would agree to that. And I
mhm.
have, just to add to that, I have like a big whiteboard in my office, and I like to see what I'm doing now, the leads that I have, the potentials that I have, and the sales, and it's all tracked. So if you don't see it, you don't really know what's going on in your business. So you have to absolutely track that.
Because we have a lot going on. I mean, it's a lot to track, but if you have it somewhere, it's like just so easily accessible. It's more likely that you'll stick to it. You know, but so what are your tips, Darian, for building long-term relationships with your clients that lead to repeat business and referrals?
I use our CRM. I use Lofty. That tracks my past closings, right down to the home anniversaries. I send out an email when I first, if it's a new client, every 3 months I send an email just to check on, hey, do you need anything? Kind of like you preferred vendors list. Send them that right after. Then after that is maybe every 6 months. Then if it's been 3 years, then every year. And also I keep track of a lot of my clients end up becoming friends. I feel like they become friends because I feel like I know everything about them, and we end up following each other on social media. I had one client that just had that first baby, military couple from California. So I surprised them, sent them a baby gift through Amazon. So there's some type of the ways that I try to keep up with some past clients. Referrals, I have a lot of people that also send me referrals. So a lot of my past clients will do the same, will send me referrals as well.
So like that personal touch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the follow-up.
Like I say, it almost felt like we become friends and family after we deal with each other.
But you can also be like a ghost friend.
Right.
And that wouldn't help you. I'm just saying, don't you have friends like that? Where they like never really reach out to you?
Because they're stalking you on Facebook.
Yeah, they can
Watching
like
everything
all
you
your
do.
posts, but they don't ever like say, hey, what's up? You know? So don't do that. Be a interactive friend.
Right.
No
Yeah.
lurking.
Yeah. But what about you, Anna?
No, I would agree everything that Darian said 100%. Whenever I get a referral from a past client, I always like mention them on my social media so other people do see it. I send them a gift card to like a favorite local restaurant, or if they've never been there, I just mail them something as a thank you. But back to what I mentioned before, being on the team, it gave me a lot of ideas and perspectives on how I could grow myself as an agent. So, and Brooke, my team leader, she was amazing. So she showed me how to love on my clients really, really hard. So after a transaction closed, that wasn't the end. That was just the beginning to our success program, she called it. So many of those clients became good friends and we still hang out. And I touch base with them throughout the year, just to kind of keep in the back of their mind. But what I also do I try not to do it every quarter because it's expensive, but I like to do this over the holidays. It's a Reminder Media magazine and you can customize it with your name, and also it has your information like throughout the magazine. It's really cool. It has like a postcard there, some information about myself. So they put it all together for you, and then I have a list of all of my clients. Every time I close a transaction, I have a list of clients that I've worked with before. So, and they go into that database, and Reminder Media just mails this out, and people love this. They message me back, and they're like, "Oh, I just got your magazine. It's so cool." So it does work. At the end of the year, I mail out this little calendar to all of my clients as well. You can get them through like Magnets USA. And then every time I meet a new client, I give them this. They put it on their fridge, and it's like a tear off calendar. There's other ones I've done in the past too, like a yearly calendars, but that definitely.
Do you have like an estimate on like what you spend on that?
So Reminder Media is like, I think for 50 people is like $225 for a mail out, but they do everything. It's like $4 a magazine. So it
Yeah,
just
that's pretty
really all
reasonable.
depends on your budget, how often you can set the time frame, how often you want to do it. But I know all the top agents in my office, they all do this. Some don't do as much as I do, but I like to try different things. And like Brandon was saying, you have to figure out what sets yourself apart from other people. But I really like doing this, and if your brokerage offers that option, you should definitely try that. I know one of the agents in here from
Always
Nest,
take advantage of your resources.
Yeah, they do this for you at other brokerages, but if you don't, try Reminder Media if you have the budget for it. Also, one last thing I want to add to that, the how to build long-term relationships and everything we all talked about, building the friendships, and I host once a year a client appreciation event, and it changes throughout the year, whatever I decide to do. So tomorrow I'm actually hosting an event for my clients at the Fred Nets, and Selena's gonna come to that because she's one of my referral partners and my team, part of her mortgage company. So I'm just want to thank my clients and all the people I work with, and just show my appreciation. So I treat them out to the game. We have a little suite there, and just have fun. So, and everybody remembers that part of that your success client program. Whatever you decide to do, just pick something and do something.
And it doesn't have to be at the scope of like a
Yeah.
baseball game or anything, because obviously that's like years into it. But do you have like other things like pies?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like
Yep.
give out like pies.
I've done pies in
for
the
their
in the
yeah.
past. We did when I was on the team. Brooke had a pie drive-through, so people would just come. They selected a pie they wanted and just came, picked it up, and they're like, "Oh, thank you." Really, you could do Popeyes. Something when I started out, like I said, I didn't have anybody, so I just gave it out to my local neighbors. Just any little things to just kind of remind people about yourself.
Yeah. Darren, do you do anything in particular?
No, I started off.
Oh, you started Brandon.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
so-
lost track.
Yeah, no,
Y'all
it's
are best
all
friends.
good.
You're the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much what they said. It's like building friends, building those relationships and being an involved friend. A lot of the friends that I have now, it's funny, they all started as clients. Like a lot of my friends that would bend over backwards and do a lot of stuff for me. They started off as clients, and it all stems from just being involved. Keeping up with them, like Darian, they just had a kid. Hey, send them something. through the mail. I know for me, I like to go out for drinks, go out to social settings with those clients just to kind of keep touch with them. We might go out to dinners. If I throw an event at the brokerage, I'll invite them over, as like a VIP client. But just finding ways to keep them engaged, and being a friend to them, like how you would want, keep in touch with them and staying up to date in their personal lives.
I have a question for all three of you. How are y'all budgeting for these types
I was
of
just gonna ask that, yeah.
these types of excursions, and are you doing it per
Yeah,
transaction?
do you set a budget to like kind of accommodate whatever you
For
plan
gifts?
for the year, or do you just kind of fit it into whatever you produce type thing? Like,
Yeah. So personally, in my own personal business, aside from the brokerage, kind of like how Anna had it, where there's different tiers, right? Obviously, if somebody's buying a $300,000 house, you're gonna have less commission, so you're not gonna want to blow all your commission on them, right? So maybe just buying like a smaller gift, maybe like a candle and some towels and stuff for that new home that they're gonna get. That keeping it relatively under $100, so it's not super expensive for you, but at the same time you're reminding them, hey, I appreciate you. Going out for drinks, it's not that expensive either. I mean, you get like maybe
it depends on how
two,
much.
two drinks. You come with two of their drinks. That's like what, $20 on their end, and then that's $20 on your end if you both get two drinks. I mean,
And are you tracking all of that for your taxes?
oh yeah, I track it. I track everything for taxes.
Because it is a tax
It's a
write-off.
write-off,
It is a
right?
tax write-off, guys.
It's all a write-off, But generally, if we're doing an outing and it's like me and another person, I'll try to keep it under like $100, right? You want to go out and have fun. Obviously, you don't want to blow the bank because it is a business. There's costs involved. Now for the firm, we generally try to keep some reserves for like the bigger stuff, like those events that we're gonna throw. But yeah, as a realtor, I try to keep it under $100 when we do like an outing, and really just keep it. It has to make sense for you, right? So if you have somebody who's buying like an $800,000 house, then yeah, you have more wiggle room, so you can go out and buy maybe something luxury for them. It's similar to Anna. I have the tiers, so depending on the sales, the price of the house and how much commission you're going to make, I judge how much I'm going to spend off of that.
I try to base mine off of the client when we looking at houses and stuff. We kind of get to know each other. You kind of feel what they need. If they first time home buyers, maybe they need a gift card to Lowe's, or if they an older person or something, maybe a Ring doorbell. I even borrowed one of my clients one time. It was a young man, a single young man. I bought him one of those automatic electric vacuum cleaners.
Roomba?
Yeah.
Dang.
So I
Why
kind
do
of
you
track
think only
mine.
single men need that?
I kind of track mine off with the clients because you get to kind of know them personally,
Yeah.
and you kind of know what they would need. So that's kind of the way I track mine. I really don't do it off a budget. The price of the house, I kind of go off the actual person.
And your relationship.
Right.
So it's relationship based pretty much.
A lot of it is relationship based on
Yeah.
what you were willing to spend on that, based on what everybody said. But I think you have to spend money to get the money. So I always came into that mindset when I started out. I had nothing, so I had to put a little bit money into it to get myself out there, to establish myself, to get my name out there. So to see the return, you have to believe in it. And that's kind of one of the things on my closing.
Yeah, you gotta invest.
You have to invest in yourself. You absolutely do. You invest in your education and everything. So you have to invest. If this is your business, you have to put the money into it.
Yeah, I do have a question though for Darian and Brandon, because y'all mentioned friends, because you're friends now, and so how do you ask your friends for business if you do?
Good question.
I personally don't directly ask them. I think if all of my friends, I mean, they share my stuff on social media. They'll refer me any chance they get. I know I just rolled out some stickers for the firm, and a lot of my friends were like, "Hey, let me get one. I'm gonna put it on my car." Like, creating that bond, that personal relationship. I mean, you can't force that. It's really just being the friend that you would want for yourself, and you'll see that that's the most inexpensive way to grow your business and market yourself, because those people, they are your boots on the ground that they're gonna go out and they're gonna spread the word. Hey, I actually got a buddy, and then they'll go above and beyond to make sure that
So you have
succeed.
good friends.
Yeah, good friends.
Okay.
Yeah, but in
So
order to
make
get
good
good friends,
friends.
yes, you gotta be a good friend. So stay engaged all the time.
Okay, what about you?
I'm the same way. I really don't have to ask my friends. They usually come to me, and to be honest, if they don't use you, they use a stranger. I feel like they really aren't your friend. Because friends should be supporting each other's businesses. That's how I feel.
I'll add to that. I do ask for business. Yeah, I absolutely do. I asked even before we close, I asked my clients for a review on my Google site. I just send them right to the link, and 9 out of 10, they always leave a review, and then I share it with everybody else. So it's all about the experience you have, and if they have a good experience, they will refer you. But I reach out to those clients and past clients and stay in contact with them, because if you don't ask, people forget, they get busy. So you absolutely have to ask for the business, in my opinion.
Maybe just have more loyal friends.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know, but I absolutely do. It's not like, oh, I need your business, but if they have a good experience, when you do ask them for that referral, or be like, hey, if you had a great experience with me through this transaction, like, please, let all of your friends know and share my information. And then I see my clients now posting on like Facebook when someone's looking for an agent and they tag me in it, and like, it's an amazing feeling.
Awesome. Yeah, I always thought that was the worst part for me, is asking my friends for business, because I felt like I was kind of using them in a way. I felt awkward, like, buy a house. Like,
Just do it.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
do
ask
it.
from my
But-
friends, I don't think, but from my past clients, I do.
Yeah, but just staying on top, just establishing those relationships, making them stronger. So if you could give just one piece of advice to sum up, like, hey, if you are diving in, new real estate agents, you're looking to succeed, what advice would you give them?
You want me to go first?
We'll just go down the line.
Okay. I would just say set your boundaries. Like we talked about, going on vacations and working, and I'm so guilty of that too. I do work through my vacation, but if something doesn't pan out, you can't take that time back and change it and be like, oh, you missed out on things. So I think I struggle with that and trying to prioritize what's important to me. But most importantly, like I said, those things have to give me satisfaction, that I know that I had some kind of an impact on my clients and provided them value. I also own my own business prior to real estate, so I know the difficulties and the challenges of running this as a business. So I have to treat it as a business to make sure it's successful. So you focus on it, you look at it every day. You can't just, put it on the back of your mind and be like, oh, I'll get to it in 3 months. No. So at the end of it all, there's a principle I go by. It's called the laws of attraction. And if you don't know what it is, you can find a book. It's called The Secret. So if you want something really, really bad, I feel like everything in the universe will conspire to like help you get it, but you have to put yourself in the right mindset. So I think when you even get a coach, the first thing they do, you have to set your mindset on what you want. You write down your goals, you write down how much money you want to get, and you just go for it. And I swear it works, but you have to put the work into it.
Brandon.
I think the biggest thing for new agents, what I've seen a lot with agents, is that they struggle to figure out what their personal brand is. I know that was a question earlier, but struggling to figure out what makes you different in a market that's already saturated with an agent, where everybody knows an agent, right? What makes you different? And that's one of the questions that I ask anytime I onboard a new agent. What makes you different? And if you struggle to answer that question, then you really need to start soul searching and figure out, who are you as a person and how does that benefit your client? Why should a client go with you? So for me, that's the biggest thing I struggled with. Trying to be a cookie cutter, one size fits all agent. You can't market yourself as that. At the end of the day, you need to figure out what your niche is. What do you specialize in, right? For me, I deal with a lot of veterans because I'm in the Guard. I deal with, military all the time. So I went out, got a military relocation professional certification from FAR, MRP, and that's just one more distinguisher aside from already serving side by side with them. They know for a fact that I have the certification to back it up and I have the experience to back it up. So that is what I am known as. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see MRP, veteran broker. Like that is my brand. So my clients are now veterans and millennials, just because they resonate with me. And so it's finding that niche that you can help, and you specialize in. Of course, you can help out the general population, FHA, VHDA, whatever. But specializing in something that's going to set you apart from your competitors, honing in on that craft and being really good at it and being known as the go-to person for that. And then everything else will come, the easy one, the easy clients with the easy financing, that'll all come. But yeah, that's gonna set you apart from everybody else. Figuring out your personal brand.
So are you connecting personal brand with your niche, or
Yeah.
they
So
two
because
separate
it's
things,
gonna
or-
tie in, right? Like my personal brand, everybody knows me. They know I love the military. Like I'm all about it. So in turn, that translates to me getting a ton of VA clients just from my personal connections, but also through social media and just the way that I market myself.
And I'm just curious if that's the same for both of you as well. Because it's a recurring theme that's come up all day long that I think comes up all the time as an agent mentoring other agents is that personal brand. And even like here amongst your peers, amongst coaching groups and everybody always says it. No one ever says, everyone always says, well, you should set yourself apart, but no one ever says, this is what sets me apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
They don't know how.
how do you communicate that? How do you decide on what sets you apart when you never hear kind of, like, what is it? What sets you apart? What sets you apart? What sets you apart? I know what sets you apart now because you just said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most of the time, you never hear anybody say it, but you always hear everybody say, you need to do it.
Yeah.
So, like,
do as I say, not as I do.
right. So I'm like, how do you, as an agent or person that has struggled with that as well, and then trying to teach other people to do that, how did, I'm curious to hear from the other two on that, if you don't mind. Sorry.
No, that's great.
Darian's got like a
No,
superhero name, the
awesome.
closer.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Yeah.
The closer. Did you want to?
I would say what sets me apart is from a small town that I'm from,
Which is
Westmoreland County. Very small area. I was very into sports growing up. I run a big event every year at the racetrack called Nanny's Fight Fest. So I feel like me as a person, people trust me and know me because I hate to say it, but I feel like I'm a good person. So I think it's more so the trust thing with me that kind of try to set me apart from people that I know, my peers that know me. But then when I do get clients that don't know me, once they get to know me, it only takes this. I'm an open book. It only takes me 30 minutes to really get to know me, and they feel comfortable with me. So that's what I think that sets me apart from other agents.
How did you come up with the closer? Like, how did that
I don't
originate?
even know. It just popped to my head one day. The closer.
And then you just like ran
really-
with it. So you just
Yeah.
like the closer.
Does it like a cop TV show a little bit?
It is a TV
Yeah.
show. I've seen it.
You-
It is. I think so.
Yeah, it is.
But that would be kind of like establishing your brand. Like you had an idea and you're like, hey, let me really hone in on this idea that I had and
Yeah.
created a brand. Like create the brand. So it's not even like a niche like better,
Right.
VA, but it's more like a character. Like
That's
this
exactly
is
what it is.
yeah.
It's
So
more-
it's like, oh, this is I want to be called this, and then you just
And I
build
think
your brand
sometimes
over
it takes
it.
time and experience in the
Right.
business for you to identify that about yourself.
So your client has to remember you by, what kind of experience they had. And I totally agree with Brandon, like, you have to find your niche. I work with a lot of VA buyers because we're also military. So those clients know a lot of other agents. There's a lot of other agents that are military and they're realtors. So how do they choose you over somebody else? But it's your knowledge, it's your training, and it's also the branding. So those Cutco knives I told you, sometimes like you just brand yourself as the closer. So on my Cutco knives, I put Anna Torres, your realtor for life. I'm like, am I gonna be their realtor for life? Maybe, maybe not, but it's out there. You have to believe in it, and you just, you just roll with it.
So what would your one piece of advice be? Because we kind of skipped over that one.
Just I forgot what I was gonna say for that one now. My one piece of advice is just keep your ear to the ground, know what's going on, know your audience, and know who you're working with. Be true to yourself. Don't try to be somebody that you aren't, because your clients is gonna figure that out. You can, if they can read a person, they're gonna see that you really ain't who you are. So, and be obsessed with your passion. If this is your passion, be obsessed with it. Really grind, know all the trends, keep informed with everything that's going on. And like I said, this business can get very burnt out. This is a 24/7 business. There's no weekends off. There's no Sundays off. Is when you're on vacation, you still working. So just try to stick to it. And like I said, be obsessed with it if you really want to do this. If you want to make it a career or business.
You don't have business, go on vacation.
It'll come
It
to you.
follows you every
Yeah.
time.
And it
We
seems like
have-
I get a deal done every time I'm on vacation.
Yeah, seriously. No, same way. Take the information, take their information down, take their names, and we will send up like a follow-up email. And I think you have some notes maybe that have like some tools. But if there's any tools or resources or anything they said that really caught your attention, I'm just gonna throw them out there. But please reach out. Please reach out, because they all mentioned mentorship is a big thing, and also networking with other agents and helping each other is a big thing. So I'm gonna speak for them and say they're probably willing to help you. If you feel like something they might have said really is gonna be something you need help on, reach out. Feel free, have a conversation, dig deeper into maybe the tools, resources, mindset that they have, because it's why we have this quarterly, so it's supposed to benefit you. So take advantage of your resources.